Number 1. Democracy. While Gustav Stresemann was Chancellor of Germany between 1924 and 1929, there were no more riots, revolutions or political crises. In fact, quite the opposite. There were several peaceful elections in this period. Most Germans voted for parties that supported the Weimar Republic. The government also had the support of the army, civil service and the judiciary. Stresemann himself had been opposed to the government at first, but then changed his views and became a strong supporter. He did a lot to convince other Germans to do the same. In 1925, there were elections for the post of president to replace Friedrich Ebert. The winner was Paul von Hindenburg. He was a hero of the Great War. The fact that a great military leader was prepared to be part of the Weimar Republic encouraged even more Germans to support it. However, proportional representation caused problems for Stresemann. One aim of PR was that no political party would dominate the Reichstag. Parties would have to form coalition governments and cooperate with each other. The parties did form coalitions, but were not very keen to cooperate. The governments broke down, with the longest lasting only 2 years. People got fed up with so many elections and squabbling politicians. This damaged their faith in the new system of democracy. Number 2. The economy. One of the first things Stresemann did after becoming Chancellor of Germany in 1924 was to stop the printing of paper money, the cause of hyperinflation. He replaced all of the old money with a new currency called the Reutenmark. 1 Reutenmark replaced 1,000 old marks. In the mid to late 1920s, if you walked down the streets of Berlin, there was much to see. The cafes were full, shops and theatres were doing good business, architects were creating exciting new buildings, filmmakers were producing successful new films. The economy was clearly recovering from the crisis of 1923. In 1924, Stresemann signed up to the Dawes Plan between Germany and the USA. Within the Dawes Plan, the USA agreed to give Germany huge loans of up to 800 million marks. Stresemann also renegotiated Germany's reparations payments. This gave Germany some much-needed economic stability. Wages for workers rose, industrial production went up. Big businesses like chemicals and steel did well. So did the big cities where these industries were based. However, Germany's recovery was totally dependent on America's loans. These loans were for a short period only, and the American banks could demand their money back at very short notice if they wanted. With industry doing so well, farmers found it hard to sell their goods at a decent price. Small businesses also suffered from competition from big businesses. Also, the wages of people working in public services did not go up as fast as wages for industrial workers. As a result, many people in these sections of society felt bitter towards the Weimar Republic. Lastly, people had accepted the new currency, but those who had lost their savings during hyperinflation never got their money back. Number 3. Foreign affairs. Stresemann was a foreign affairs expert and he managed to build good relationships with Germany's former enemies. In 1925, Stresemann signed the Locarno Treaty. This meant that Germany agreed to accept the borders between Germany, France and Belgium, which had been set out in the Treaty of Versailles. The Locarno Treaty improved Germany's relationships with France, Britain and the USA. In 1926, Germany was also invited to join the League of Nations, showing that Germany was accepted by the rest of the world again. Being part of the League of Nations also enabled Stresemann to renegotiate some of the other terms of the Treaty of Versailles. In 1929, Stresemann signed to another agreement with the USA. Stresemann agreed to the Young Plan, which reduced Germany's reparations and spread out the payments to make them easier to afford. However, the fallout of all of this for Stresemann was that he was accused by some extremist groups, including Adolf Hitler's Nazi Party, of being a traitor for cooperating with Britain, France and the USA.